Hey guys, welcome back. And this is going to be my top 7 things that R2 has over my Model Y performance. Let's get right into it. All right, first things up on our 7 things that R2 has that the Model Y doesn't have. It's going to be the Haptic Halo wheels. This is only on the Rivian R2. It is a first for the industry. Not that this is not a scroll wheel, but this is going to be a first in how they are implemented in R2. So when we say haptic halo wheels, I'm sure some of you have already seen this because Rivian has done a lot of coverage on these and some other creators have as well. But you have 2 of them, a left and a right. Your left side is going to be primarily controlling things that can show up as what I call your driver display cards, which are going to be on the left-hand side. As you see, we have a tire pressure one here and audio. It is a 8-way directional controlled scrollable wheel that is software updatable and completely controlled by software. When we say that, we mean that they can update the way that the tactile feel is responding to your input. As an example, when I click towards me, the detents between each scroll is large and it lets me know I can't go any further. And if I come down, it will also stop me from going down anymore, as you see. Now, if I want to click on this, I press in. When we said 8 ways, the 8 ways are going to be scrolling up, which you see is going to control music, scrolling down, still controlling music. We can, if music was playing, I can press to the left to go back a track or press and hold on the current track and it will rewind. I can also tilt to the right. I can skip tracks or press and hold to the right and it will fast forward through. I can push in to confirm something and I can pull back here to change what these cards are displaying to me. And currently you can only see there's navigation, which navigation will only appear here when you have the autonomy screen displayed. Music, your last 15 minutes of efficiency, and tire pressures. Same thing for the right side. Right side is still going to be the same 8-way, same everything that we just discussed on the left side. But the difference here is this is going to be more centered on controlling things that are in your large touchscreen to your right. So when I say that, you still have the up and down. So last thing I was controlling was my HVAC fan. You see the fan started to come up. I can turn that down. If I want to turn it off, it's going to go away. But if I wanted to turn the fan speed off, you would just click all the way down. You click up to turn it on. Same thing again. If I want to switch menus, I can go display and driver. I can go autonomy speed. I can go temperature, so I can even control the temperature. And as you see, the detents is much closer together because there's such a larger span that I need to click through. I can click again this way. I can also click back the other way as well. There is no holding this way because these are just set menus, as you see. But once you go to one of these things, if I leave it on the set speed for autonomy, when I go to adjust this, if I am in autonomy, it will auto adjust it. But seeing that we are parked, it's going to bring this up saying, because we're not driving, it's going to tell me that I need to turn on autonomy plus to use it. Now, if I switch over to my temperature, if I leave it here when it goes away, the second I scroll this wheel, it's going to immediately know I want to adjust my temperature. So you can make this customizable to you and leave it on whichever one works for yourself. I do hope in the future to make this feature even better, that they allow us to almost completely adjust most things in this car that are in the center display by these haptic wheels. Because remember, there are 8 ways. So they basically can give you almost 8 menus, especially on the right hand side. And then the next thing we're going to talk about is going to be in our list of things that R2 has that Model Y does not, is going to be the rear drop glass. All right, number 2 on our list of 7 things that the R2 has over Model Y is going to be the rear drop glass. It is the only EV in production today that offers a rear drop glass. That means that your rear window will actually affix and go down into the hatch. The only other vehicle that did this was the Toyota 4Runner, and that was a big hit. I remember as a kid, we had one, and it was the best thing to sit back there and just have this window down and have a lot of fun. So on R2, it does the same thing. Few facts: if this glass is down, the wiper will not run. That makes sense because there's nothing for it to swipe on. Once the glass is up, it will continue to run at that point. To lower it, there are 3 buttons over here to the left. Press it once, it will drop all the way down with the touch of a button. And once it's down, you can load things, unload things. This is a perfect spot for dogs to hang out, or even small kids. If you're in here, they can hang out here, get fresh air, and you can actually keep an eye on them. My dog loves being back here. He can put his paws up here and rest and look out. Bigger dogs, their head will probably fit about right here, so you don't have to worry about them really trying to jump out. But other than that, it's great. You can pull your cargo cover into position here, like we do there, And if you want to raise this up, you press and hold this button and the glass will come back up. It's number 2 on our list of 7 things, and this is one of the big things that we love about our R2. So guys, next up is going to be cargo capacity, all right? So as you see here, here is the R2 in its glory far as cargo capacity. There is quite a bit of space here. So we're going to start off with first pulling off and putting our cargo cover back. And as you see, you can come on in. Inside of here, you're going to have a lot of space here. Lots of space to do things. With the seats folded up, you have 28.7 cubic feet of storage behind those seats. And with the seats folded down, you have a massive 79.4 cubic feet of storage. Those seats do fold flat completely. And you can also see they fold into a 40-20-40 split type of seat. So you can do 60% down with one set up, or you can have both outboard seats up with the middle down as a ski pass-through. This is probably best in class for the midsize crossovers for the electric vehicles. This is just a little bit bigger than Model Y. Total volume, 90.1 cubic feet. You also have 2 power ports in the back, a 12 volt and a 120 plug. The 120 has a 1900 watt max power. Next up, you have the auto open frunk that is on the R2. It is not a fully powered frunk, but it does open automatically by itself. You do have to manually close. It also has 5.2 cubic feet of storage up front, can fit a full set of golf clubs up there if you are into golfing, like some of the people I know. This also will be added into that total volume of cubic feet that I told you of 90.1. This is a part of that. And if you see, it is a completely massive front trunk, probably biggest in the class. It also does have a drain. All right, number 5 is going to be ground clearance, which R2 does have 9.6 inches of ground clearance. It does have an approach angle of 25 degrees, departure angle of 26 degrees, and a breakover of 20.6 degrees. This is a box that we used as a test to show you what it would look like of some things that you could, kind of center the vehicle over while you're driving. And that's important to me and in my household, as where we live, there seems to be stuff in the road all the time, and being able to place the vehicle directly over top of the item versus trying to either change lanes or run into the shoulder and all of that. You don't have to worry about that. So there's been a few times where there's been some dead animals or roadkill in the road, and we're able to put the R2 directly over top of it. Where in the Model Y Performance, it's significantly lower to the ground. And there are sometimes I just have to go into the shoulder or switch lanes. Next is going to be number 6, off-road ability. R2 has 9.6 inches of ground clearance, like we spoke about in the ground clearance portion, best in class. It also supports 19.7 inches of water fording. That's pretty good for a vehicle of this size and caliber. All of the R2 wheels, no matter which ones you pick up, if it's the 19s, the 20-inch all-terrains, or 21-inch performance wheels, are all 32 inches in diameter. The vehicle has good approach, departure, and breakover angles, which they are respectively. Approach angle is 25, departure 26, and breakover is at 20.6. That's fantastic. I think for this vehicle, nothing else is going to beat it as of now in the EV space. R2 basically has you covered off the beaten path, and that's why we chose it, because the brand is basically built around that, making you get out there and have fun. And its off-road cred is pretty good. They've done a lot of tweaks to the dual motors, and I am seeing myself better control from zero, way better stall torque. So you also want to get out there and experience the all-terrain, rally, and soft sand. And lastly, number 7, towing capacity. R2 has a pretty good towing capacity for it. Its hitch is in the rear, obviously, and it's going to be covered by a plate that you just have to turn 2 little screws on the bottom, and it'll pop the cover right off. Its max towing weight is 4,400 pounds. It can pull, whatever you want, long as it's around that weight. You should not exceed that weight. But again, if you're going to be towing, make sure you have all the necessary equipment. You want to make sure that everything is hooked up correctly. There is a towing mode in the vehicle. You want to activate that as well. And you should be aware that you're going to lose about half of your range while towing. You have plenty of horsepower to pull 4,400 pounds. It'll probably feel pretty light. back there, especially with Rivian. They've done a really good job with thermal management as well on R2, so you shouldn't have too many issues with that. These were basically our 7 things that we think the R2 is better at over a Model Y. We hope you enjoyed, and we'll see you on the next one.